Good morning, I'm Shelly with Gilbert Marketplace. How we doing this morning? I am going to show you how to make this cute bicycle wall hanging. So first you're going to need one of these round wheels. All these items can be found at your local Dollar Tree. You're also going to need a trellis. It's a cute little trellis that you can also get at the Dollar Tree. And one of these baskets. I will be painting it black, but I'll do that later just because I'll probably just take it outside and spray it once I get it all together. And you can make it any color you wanted, but I'll probably stick to black. You'll also need some foam if you're going to put a flower arrangement in this. And you'll need some zip ties, and you can also get those at the Dollar Tree. You'll also need a pair of wire cutters or nose nips. But what we're going to do is we're going to start by cutting the wheel. And we're going to want the wheel cut in half. And maybe I might need stronger nips here. We're going to cut this. Usually these are pretty strong, but let's maybe just go around it a couple times here and see. Oh, geez, a little stronger than I thought, but there we go. Okay, so we're going to cut this in half to make it a wheel, and we're going to do the other side, making sure they line up. And like I said, we'll just kind of go around with our nips. You can see that maybe a little stronger pair of wire clippers might be best. But usually you can just kind of nip these and then bend it and it snaps. We're going to bend it back and forth till, there we go, it snaps off. Now we have both of those snapped, and then we're going to just flex this a few times, and that way we have our half wheel. Because we are going to make one of those little bicycle trellises, and we're going to use this as part of our wheel that goes on our trellis. Now, to make this look like handlebars, I'm going to bend these out just a little bit, because that will look like wheels, our handlebars on our bicycle. You can pull these out a little so they're less curly, because clearly the handlebars don't curl on a bicycle. Then I'm going to cut this one right here on my trellis. I'm just gonna snip this. Like I said, maybe we should get a little bit stronger clips. That's the problem when you, there we go, when you do things live, because you don't have to, you don't get to check if it works or not. Usually I try to have one done ahead of time, but today we're just going for it. Okay. And what I wanted to do on this is I want to put this kind of into a point, only because on a bicycle the wheel would come down and you'd have that. So I'm going to cut this one off. Let's see, we're going to cut that off and cut the other one off. Right on your trellis. Like I said, we're going to try to make this into a V. There we go, that should do it. And then I'm going to use some zip ties and hold that down. Now if I want, let me check here. I'm going to put our tire, so I'm going to have to hook that one on here. So we don't want to cut the center part of our trellis. But we're going to hook that, I think, right here, and hook these to this one so it looks like a book wheel, a bicycle wheel. I'm gonna cut these off here too, just because I don't like that sticking up. Yeah, these are a little bit stronger. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta work it a little bit back and forth. And these really are getting pretty dull. I use these are one of my favorite tools. I think they call them actually dikes. They're not really wire cutters because they're the small ones. And I use these for a lot of things. Probably could use a newer, sharper pair to be truthful. Okay, I think it's almost there. I'm just gonna bend it. Oh. I don't want to crack this wire, and that's the problem. You know. All right, I'm gonna leave that one on just because it's not gonna affect the look at this moment, and I don't want to break it just because I don't have the proper tools. So, okay, so I'm gonna use my zip ties, and I'm gonna zip tie this right over. Let's use the zip tie on the right side. That'll help. All right, and so you're gonna just pull that tight. And I'm gonna use black because I'm gonna keep it black. Obviously, it wouldn't matter when you repaint it. And then we'll just take these. Now I can't even cut plastic with them. They're getting so dull. So like I said, these probably would work. It's just, they're getting pretty dull. Okay, and then we're going to use one on this side. This will be a cute little flower arrangement. I was gonna make this for Mother's Day, but as you can see, I didn't make that deadline. So what else I was thinking is this would just be super cute in the garden or on the back wall of your porch, you know, just for a little summer project. Okay, and then I'm gonna point these down. I may put a thing around these, I may not. Okay, let's kind of see how my thoughts were on this. I'm going to hook the basket right here. So I'm going to attach that because that has to go there. So we're going to attach that just so I can kind of see where my wheel lines up. So I'm just going to take these zip ties, and you could probably put one on the top in the middle. I'm also going to fasten it. So this is going to be like that. So I don't know if I want to put it on the top because I'm hoping not to see that too much. So let's see if I put it right here. That's a good thing about zip ties. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna have to go to the top. That'll be all right. When the flowers are in there, we'll cover it up. I think we're gonna have to do the top because it probably will hang too loose if we don't. Let's pull that real tight. Clearly, we're gonna center that. And then I'm gonna put another one over here. Hopefully everyone can see what I'm doing, because you know what, I'm just winging it as we go, but you can kind of see the concept. I want to have my wire basket. Now, if it flops, which it may, so I think I'll just put one down here. Let's see, I want it to be centered. So I'm just going to also put one across right at the bottom so this won't keep flipping. So I think I'll go right through the basket, and that will hold it from going up and down. That'll be perfect. So now you can kind of see we got our handlebars, we've got our basket, and now I'm going to cut this off here just so that we can put it on the table. Man, these things are dull. This is crazy. my scissors might do a little bit better job. Okay, let's get that mess out of the way. Okay, and then we're going to attach this wheel. And I'm going to, I think what I'll do, just to make this nice and smooth, I'm going to take a couple more of my zip ties. I got a big old bag of zip ties here. I was surprised. You can get them at Lowe's, but man, they're like $6. So I said, hey, make sure you buy them at the Dollar Tree. They do carry them, and the smaller the better, truthfully. You won't notice it as much. They have the little small ones there. Otherwise, you know, you're going to be paying $6. I'm like, whew, that's pricey for some plastic. All right, so let's see if I can turn this so you guys can see. I'm going right in the middle across the tire, and I'm going to push this so it's even, because I will probably, to hold this, I'm going to zip tie it to the bottom of the basket. So obviously I want this wheel centered to the point at the bottom and in the basket. So I'm going to zip tie that right on there. And that stays pretty good. Let's just cut this zip tie. And that's going through the wheel and the back of the mount right there. And then I'm going to take another zip tie, because this is what's going to happen if we don't. And you're going to go to the front of the basket here, and then there's this crossbar right here. Let's see if I can get that zoomed in a little better. You don't need to see me. Okay. So you're going to do the crossbar and the basket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this bent through the crisscross. So let's just come around here, feed it back through. This way it won't, whoops, keep flipping, you know. Just get that like that. And I'm thinking right across that crossbar. So you can kind of see, we're gonna go, I'll show you a little bit better here once we get this on there. Okay, so that's perfect. So we kind of went through the gold basket, through the first part of the wheel, and we're just going to zip tie it there. Now you can see my wheel sticking up a little, and once we zip tie that, we shouldn't have any problems with it. But this I think will be super cute. If you had like a potting shelf in your backyard where you do some planting and gardening. I have 0 green thumbs, so mine will be artificial. I can't keep nothing alive. Okay, we got that one cut off. And then, like I said, we're gonna come down to the bottom here, and I'm going to zip tie these together. Now, I'm debating if I want to keep these, but I think I do. So I think I'm going to just zip tie this so it looks like the cross, like, you know, when it comes down on your bike to hold your bike wheel. So I think I'll just grab another zip tie, and we're going to put this with this. Now you probably could use a little hot glue even, but we're going to zip tie all 3 of these together. So I'm going to get my zips tied started here with all the pieces, and we're going to hold it to the end of this as close as we can without it literally falling off. So we got all 3 of these together. We're going to go right as close to this edge as we can and pull that as tight as possible. All right. nice and tight. And now I have my wheel. And then of course we'll cut the zip tie again. Okay, let me back this up a little bit again. So this is my concept right here. We have the wheel, I don't know if you can see that, and then the backing with the handlebars. So I'm thinking on a flat, cute wall, and then, like I said, I'm gonna put some dried. I'm gonna glue that in, but I'm gonna put some flowers in there and make it like a little bicycle trellis for the back of the wall in my garden area. You will be able to see the finished product. I will spray paint this black at Gilbert Marketplace. Check me out on Facebook. I also write for Home Talk, so you can also find a lot of great tutorials that I do on Home Talk. You can also find me on Pinterest under Gilbert Marketplace. Hey guys, thanks for watching and have a wonderful morning.